So buying your first wig can seem a little bit daunting. So I just wanted to put together a very small video to try and make it a little bit easier for someone who hasn't bought a wig before, is thinking of buying one, or even has been buying them and hasn't got it quite right. So I could talk for half an hour on the subject, but I'm gonna try and keep it nice and brief just to give you initial sort of start where you should be looking. So I'm gonna put it into 3 points. So first point, I think when you're looking to buy your first wig is you need to decide what kind of hair you want. So for example, I like to put it into 3 categories. So first of all, you've got your synthetic hair, okay? So this is a synthetic piece. It means it's not human hair. You can't style it, it keeps its shape, but you can't use it like your own hair in terms of washing, in terms of curling it, you know, putting the straighteners on it, that kind of thing. It's synthetic. So that's your sort of first start point. Then you've got what we call mixed fibered hair. So you get mixed between human hair and synthetic. So that's this piece here. So to me, it's even with the synthetic, it still looks really realistic. You wouldn't know this isn't human hair. So this is half and half. So it means that it's got the benefit of synthetic in terms of it will keep its shape for a couple of washes once you do it, but also if you did want to put a little bit of volume in there or straighten the fringe up to 140 degrees, you can do that. Then you've got fully human hair. So again, I'll do another video on how to pick your human hair because there's Remy, there's European, there's Brazilian. So that's sort of a whole different topic, but generally this is a human hair piece. So I think to the naked eye, this is your synthetic piece, your human hair piece. There's not a great deal visually straight away that you would see the difference if you didn't know, but human hair, you can feel her, she feels different. I can straighten her, curl her, treat her exactly as I would my own. So I think the first thing you need to decide is which hair type do you want to go for. Do you want to go for human hair? You're someone that likes to do their own hair, fiddle about with it, curl it, tweak it, you know, you like doing that. Human hair is a good bet. If you do like that, but you kind of, you know, also don't have a lot of time, then the half and half is also really good because you get a little bit of memory in it. You may only have to style it every couple of washes. It gives you the opportunity to tweak it when you want. If you think, well, I'm mostly going to wear it like this, but once a month I'm going to go out and I want to, you know, blow dry it upwards and spiky. That's sort of a good, but generally you don't have to do anything to it. That's a good option. Or fully synthetic, which means you've got your shape, you put her on and off you go. Obviously still wash her with the synthetic shampoos and stuff, but generally this is how she is. You wouldn't be able to curl her or put any heat on her in any way. So once you've decided what sort of hair type you'd like to go for, that's one of the first things you need to do. Second thing, I think, is price. So there's really almost no point saying, well, I want a human hair wig, but I've only got £50 to spend, or I want a high definition wig, which is your mixed one, and you know, you maybe want to spend £1,000. It's really important to know what your budget is to start with. Even if you think, well, my budget's very low because I'm going through treatment, it's only a very temporary wig, or it's more that you just want to find out what kind of wig you like before you invest a lot of money. So with your synthetic pieces, you can spend anything from £100 to £500. And that really depends on sometimes the length, the colour, the cap construction, which I'll go on to in point 3. So that's your synthetic wigs, your lower price, more value wigs. Your mixed fibre wigs, so human hair and synthetic, they are anything, I'd say probably from £200 to £800. Again, depends on the length, the longer they are, the colour they are, the different type of cap construction, depends on how much you're going to spend. So that's your medium price bracket. And your human hair wigs, because obviously they are completely human hair, you can do anything you like with them. They last longer as well, so you will pay a little bit more for that. So for your shorter styles, you could pay anything from, you know, a couple of £100, anything up to something like this is £1,200. You can pay anything up to sort of £2,000 if you're going for something really long, really blonde. Then that's when you would sort of pay that extra money. So I think budget is a really big point. Depending on how much you want to spend on a wig, I think you really need to seriously think about that and the hair type you want to go for, rather than getting your heart set on something that you actually do not want to spend that money on, or thinking, oh, I don't need a synthetic piece, actually I'm more than happy to spend £1,500 on something that is going to be exactly what I want. Okay, so point 3, give me a second, I'm going to turn all these wigs around and show you the cap, because that's what I think is the next thing you would need to look at. Okay, so now I've turned these wigs around, I think it's really important once you've decided what you want to spend and what you want your hair to look like and be like on the outside, it's really important to know what's going on in the inside. So I'll start at the bottom and work my way up as well. So generally most caps, from the lower end, lower value, the synthetic pieces, they come in a variation of wefted, which is predominantly all this back has been sewn in wefts. This gives a good ventilation and is comfy, but this is sort of what you're looking at the back. And then at the top, it's a variation of either a monofilament crown or this is a lace crown. So that just means that you could move the parting around. Once something has nothing like this, it means you can't, if they were wefted all the way up the sides here, you wouldn't be able to move your parting around because you'd see one of these wefts. So with this one particularly, you've just got this nice soft front, but all this is wefted. So really your hair is going to part in the middle like that, and it kind of needs to stay there. So moving up from that, if you wanted a little bit more flexibility with your part, again, you've still got all this wefted back, but you get this, what we call lace front here, which makes it look a little bit more natural on your hairline, depending on if you have any hair there at all. And then you have a mono part. So some of them, again, this one's parted on the side, some of them stretch out a bit further. So the more of this there is, this mono part, monofilament, mono crown, the more flexible you can be with where you're moving your parting. So depending on how important that is to you, that's an option. Going up from that, so when I say to you that this is a half synthetic, half human hair piece, and some of them are 200 and some of them are 500, it's because people want to pay more for the cap construction. So she has, even though she's wefted at the back, if you can see, it's completely different. She's got sort of open wefts, and these are sort of all tucked in nicely, so it'd be super soft on your scalp if that was something that bothered you. And then as you can see, the monofilament top covers the entire top of the head, which means we can move our parting around here, especially her. She's really spiky, really messy. You can do whatever you like with her, and actually you wouldn't see the crown. Then she's got this lace front here, which again just makes it really natural. So that's where you're spending a bit more money. And then the most expensive one you can get is the hand tied. So you can see at the back here where before we had all the wefts, this is completely hand tied. So that means that it's so soft, you can't see anything. Each individual hair has been hand tied into that cap. And then when you go onto the top, you can see it's monofilament. It's got some extra stick strips here, which just means if you've got no hair at all, it's a little bit more secure. And also this beautiful lace front, which again, if you're a wig wearer or you're going to be a wig wearer, you'll know straight away that as soon as you start doing this, you want to see that that hairline is really natural. Okay, so basically just to summarize, these are the things I think that you need to be looking at when you're buying your first wig or any wig. And if you've been struggling, these could be things that help you hopefully. So you really want to decide what kind of hair type you like, whether it's the synthetic, the mix or the human hair, and different ones have different benefits. There are definitely benefits, pros and cons to both, to all. Then you want to think how much you want to spend. Whether it's a long-term piece for you, whether it's a fashion piece, something for medical reasons, that's going to be a big issue, a big thing that you're going to want to decide. And then thirdly, I think the cap is important. That's going to be on your head possibly all day, every day, needs to be comfortable, depends how much hair you've got cushioning underneath, whether you've got no hair or patches of hair. That might be something that you'd rather spend more money on than the hair, so that's something you need to think about. And once you decide on those three things, then I think you can move forward to styles and things like that you'll know. So I hope you found this video helpful. Obviously, any questions at all, let us know. We do have a salon, so if you ever needed to come in, consultations are completely free, and you can try all the wigs on and everything to see what fits you best.